Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Butler. Today I'm here at the North Suffolk Library. We're going to be talking about IconiCon. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're here with Angie Sumner, the Marketing and Community Relations Coordinator for Suffolk Public Library, and Asa Hayward, who is the Teen Services Librarian. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Awesome, wonderful. Now, IconiCon is getting ready to come up. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit more about that event for those that may not know too much about it?
Sure. Well, this is actually our third year doing IconiCon. We began in 2016. It's a multi-fandom event for all ages. So whether you like anime, superheroes, comics, fantasy, gaming, we pretty much cover everything.
Okay.
So we'll have a little bit of everything going on. A lot of vendors, a lot of activities for all ages and fandoms.
Okay. With that, is there a fee to attend?
Nope, completely free.
No. Okay. I know that like some of the other bigger cons like Comic-Con and some of the other things like that, people dress up, people get really into their particular fandom. Is that something that you guys want and have encouraged?
Yes, we actually have a cosplay contest. So we're definitely encouraging people to come dressed in character, represent their fandom. We'll have a cosplay contest for all ages. So whether you're a kid, teen, adult, dress up and enter the contest, enjoy yourself.
Okay. With that, during the day, the course of activities throughout the day, what are some of those events or some of those activities that are going on? Like I know that there's a Lego stop motion thing, a 3D demonstration, a 3D printing demonstration. What are some of those activities? What do they consist of?
Well, the Lego stop motion event is actually an event that's for kids. And it'll be held in what we've nicknamed the Superhero Academy. And what the Lego stop motion entails is pretty much bringing your favorite Lego characters to life and through stop motion technology using the iPad. So they're kind of doing a little bit of, being really creative with Legos, but also making a little movie magic as well.
Okay.
And then for 3D printing, which will also be part of the Superhero Academy, it'll be pretty much demonstrations of how the 3D printer works, and you'll actually get to see throughout the course of the event some 3D printing materials actually, be created from start to finish.
Okay. Very nice. Now, I hear that there's going to be a Family Feud kind of event kind of thing almost.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Basically, it's the, we call it the Superhero Family Feud. And basically, it's a different take on the trivia that we've done in the past. So the difference is we want families to be involved and actually sign up. There's like 4 teams of 4 that will be able to sign up. And we just want you to get your family, your friends, anyone that you know, gather up your team, and we'll touch on sci-fi related trivia, comic related trivia, and other fandom related trivia. Okay. So it'll be fun.
If someone wants to sign up for that, can they do that on the day of, or do they need to register for that beforehand?
Yes, you have to go to SuffolkPublicLibrary.com.
Okay.
And then you want to click on the What's Happening section, and you want to click on IconiCon, and it'll send you to a link where you can actually sign up and register your team. Now, the day of, we will allow teams to get on a waiting list the day of, so in case there's a team that doesn't show up, they can always you can always still sign up your team, and we still have plenty of spots available.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
With you kind of mentioned it a little bit before, the Superhero Academy. Is there more involved with that than just that 3D printing demo?
Yes. Well, let's just start off by telling you that this year's IconiCon is we have different zones, theme zones. So all the outdoor activities, like the Society for Creative Anarchism, they will be doing their 17th century demonstrations and battles throughout the gazebo area and some of our lawn area. And we will also have Chick-fil-A, they'll be our food vendor
Okay.
for that day. So they'll be selling popular menu items, and plus the Chick-fil-A mascot will be present.
And everybody loves Chick-fil-A.
Yes. And then also we have on our library to go, which is our mobile library. And we will have karaoke on the library to go. So that'll also be part of what we've nicknamed the cantina. So
Okay.
that's the outdoor part. Our lobby area has now been nicknamed the bazaar. So that's where all of your vendors will be, including the Friends of the Library and just a host of other vendors. They'll be selling, just all kinds of gadgets and items and fandom type of stuff. And then the area that we're sitting in right now, and including the children's area, consists of the Superhero Academy. So that's where all of your children's activities will take place. And in this area of the Superhero Academy, that's where all of your tech related stuff will happen.
Okay.
And then the computers and more room, we have, that's been nicknamed the Oasis.
Off of the Ernest Cline book, Ready Player One?
Yes, yes. And in that area, we will have nonstop anime.
Okay.
The TCC Anime Club of the Chesapeake campus, they'll actually be running anime films from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. nonstop. So they'll come up with a really cool playlist of the latest and greatest in anime.
The stuff that people are really into and really kind of want to come and see. And
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll consist of the nonstop anime, and then we have the main stage area where you have where all your panelists and things, and then also there's the tabletop gamings, the Tidewater Gaming Society. They will be doing a host of tabletop games, and then we also have a corner where there'll be retro video games like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo and so on.
Very nice. Yeah. So when you're talking about that, like the tabletop games, it's not going to be like your average tabletop game.
No.
It may be something that someone has never heard of before, but it's going to be something that everybody's going to really enjoy and really kind of get something out of.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, awesome. With that, I know there's going to be a anime art show kind of thing.
Yes.
Now, people who come in, they can come in and kind of help judge with like a fan favorite, right?
Yes, so throughout the last few weeks, we've been collecting fan art. So not just anime, but it could be, Star Wars or, something based on a video game that you enjoy.
Okay.
So ranging from ages 8 through wherever, adults, people were able to submit artwork. Those will actually be on display April 21st through April 28th, day of IconiCon.
Okay.
We'll be judging the different age categories, but we will also have a fan favorite category, so people can come in and vote for their favorite. And those will be announced at the end of IconiCon after the cosplay contest.
Okay, very nice. Very cool. It sounds like it's going to be a great day of a variety of different things. So if it's something where somebody may not be too familiar with some aspect of it, they could come, they could learn a little bit more about it, and maybe leave with a new fandom.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Do you guys have any other activities that you want to highlight?
Yeah, we actually have our second Brawl for All tournament that we're doing this year. Last year we kicked it off. It was a huge hit. We'll be doing Super Smash Brothers on our Wii, and people can register. We have space for 32 people.
Okay.
Any age can register, and that can be done through our IconiCon website as well, suffolkpubliclibrary.com/IconiCon. And so we'll have kind of a bracket style tournament, and we'll battle it out to see who is the ultimate champion, but it should be a blast.
Well, that sounds great. When we come back, we're going to be meeting with some of the people from Barony of Marinus, and we're going to find a little bit more about what they do. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're here with the Barony of Marinus, and we're here with...
I'm Tim Carter, known as Gunther von Lindenwald.
I'm Jess, known as Lady Jessica McClinchy.
I'm Baron Mungo McClinchy, Sergeant Major of the Atlantian Army.
All right. So you guys are going to be at IconiCon on Saturday, April 28th. What are you guys going to be doing while you're there? Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing and maybe a little bit about your organization.
Well, sure. Well, while we're here at IconiCon, inside we'll have a table set up. We'll have a few of our people in there meeting and greeting people, talking about who we are, what we do. We'll have a video display and a few of our arts and sciences, that is some of the arts and crafts things that we make, and they're actually very functional and very accurate to the time period. Now, the time period we cover is from 600 to about 1600.
Okay.
So it's quite a few years in there. So if you consider, say, from the fall in Rome and the Dark Ages, all the way up through the Renaissance into the near modern age.
Okay. So within that, what you're saying is they're going to come in, they're going to be able to see somebody doing something, some type of craft or some type of creating something from that era.
They could be working on a project, but
Okay.
there definitely be a few items to display what they've already completed or are in the process of working on.
Okay.
Now, outside we're going to be doing more fun things.
Okay.
Weather permitting. Outside we intend to have some of our heavy fighters and some of our fencing fighters showing the different skills and armor and arms of the period, as well as under this very gazebo we hope to have our ruling baron or baroness meeting and greeting some of the people that come to see what we have.
Okay. Very nice. So if somebody were to come and really enjoy what you guys do, how can they get involved? What do they need to do? What are the steps they need to take?
Tim, that's a great question. I'm going to pass that one over here to Jess. This is Jess's area of expertise.
So what we would have as part of having the table and everything like that is we would have some flyers and some cards out, and that's going to have our Facebook information. That's going to have the email for the chatelaine, which is my role in the barony, which is basically welcoming all of the newcomers. That's my purpose, and this is my deputy, so that's why we're all here. And so the flyers, it's going to have, like I said, our Facebook page, our website, and the email for the chatelaine. So anybody who is really interested can pick up one of those, and they can contact us on any of those venues.
Okay. Now, if somebody were to do that and they get involved, you guys are all dressed in time period, clothing. How can somebody else, when they get involved with that? Is there something where in the beginning they can borrow or they can do something like that? Or
Yeah, no, exactly. So we have what is called Gold Key, which is a collection of hand-me-downs and pieces that people have made specifically to lend out and all that kind of stuff. So once you get in contact with us, we put you in contact with the right people and get all that gathered together, and you can pick out essentially a couple outfits to be able to wear until you can purchase or make your own.
Okay. What is the time commitment for doing this, being part of this?
Whatever you can put in.
Yeah. That's the great thing about it, is that it's a very flexible schedule-based kind of a hobby, and you can do it as expensively as you want to. You can do it as cheaply as you want to. We've had people that have put together entire suits of armor based on thrift store finds, secondhand sports equipment, and like a pickle barrel that they cut up to make into the different armor.
Basically, when somebody shows up the first time like to fight, I'll ask them if they've got more time or money.
Okay.
Okay, if they say they got more time than money, we work with them. If they got more money than time, I'll direct them to the merchants to get the better stuff at.
Okay.
Because we don't want people to buy like a helmet that they're going to get hurt in.
Okay.
You also don't want people to spend a bunch of money on a hobby if they don't know for sure that they want to commit to that, because that kind of sends out the wrong vibe of, hey, you want to join our organization, you must shell out this amount of money kind of thing. It's very nice because it's very workable with a bunch of different budgets, and people from all walks of life come in and hang out with us, basically.
Because like my armored rig right now probably would cost $1,200 or so to put together at once, but I built that up over 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can, like I said, you can start out, really inexpensively.
Okay.
And same thing with garb too. Like we have some people in our barony that will go to thrift stores and pick out stuff that, because you really only need to make an attempt at the clothing. So it's just whatever you can accumulate yourself or whatever is your best option at the time. So like we have people that go to thrift stores and pick out pants and shirts and stuff that will pass as medieval clothing.
Okay. All right. Now, your barony is a part of the SCA, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does the SCA actually stand for?
The Society of Creative Anachronism was created in 1966 by a group of Berkeley students, science fiction writers, and history students. Some of the founding fathers were Marion Zimmer Bradley, Poul Anderson, Robert Heinlein. These are all really big history and science fiction buffs. And what it was to get together and create a medieval environment of what it should have been.
Okay.
That's why we have some flexibility and historical accuracy. Okay? It's supposed to be about having fun. Now, we fall right in the middle of the historical groups. On one side, you have the LARPers, who are kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, with padded weapons. Then on the other side of the spectrum, you have groups like Battle of Nations in Russia that said what we do in fighting is too wimpy, and they fight with plate armor, real swords, and they use MMA rules.
Okay.
People actually get hurt over there. We try to avoid that.
That would be a good idea.
We have a lot of armor also. Really, really good helmets.
Being an organization that was started at Berkeley in 1966, I have some very interesting people running around.
Okay.
That's what makes
understand.
it fun.
Sounds like it. Sounds like a good time. Now, when you guys are here at IconiCon, you talked about there's going to be some demonstrations of fighting, things like that. What are the parameters within that?
Well, we have two separate fighting systems. I'm going to talk about the first one, which is called heavy fighting. Heavy fighting involves trying to reenact medieval combat in the Middle Ages. We also have fencing, which is what Gunther does, which involves fencing, but was in the later period during the Age of Discovery under Queen Elizabeth. The heavy fighting is the bigger group. The biggest fight I've been in was 7,000 people.
Okay.
Now it's based on the honor system, and we use these instead of real swords. This is made from rattan, which is a solid bamboo-like substance that when it breaks, it brooms. If we used oak staffs and they broke, they'd make sharp edges and could hurt somebody. Our legal target area is an inch above the knee and an inch above the wrist. The groin, elbows, and neck we avoid, but they are legal target areas. The combat system is based on the honor system. If I were to strike Jessie, and she said, good, that means I'm dead now, don't hit me again. If I hit her and she says, light, she just gave me permission to hit her harder.
So be really sure if you want to say light.
Right.
Just
It shouldn't be light, ah! So that means you're not calibrating very well. It should be light and then good. But if you do say light, you're asking to be hit harder.
And when you have many fighters, much like Mungo, saying
no,
light can be a risky.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's a skill thing. There are many people who are very small that can beat me. It's about technique and actually studying this just like any other martial art. I'll go ahead and talk about the fencing.
Well, in fencing, we use a rapier blade, very much similar to this one. This was extremely long.
Schlager blade.
It's a metal. I'm sorry.
Slogger blade.
Schlager blade.
Yeah.
And this one's a little bit longer than normal. It is not safety tip. When we actually have blades to fight with, they're dull, and they have a rubber safety tip on the end, so we don't actually pierce or kill our opponent. But it is actually live steel, and we do a lot of. Well, let's put it this way: a lot of the fencing schools of the age, a lot of people study and they go through and they actually use those techniques on the field. The only thing that we don't do with these kinds of blades is a chopping motion. That's an illegal swing, but the whole body is a valid target versus the limited areas that the heavy fighters have to experience.
Okay.
So a draw, a draw cut, a stab, a draw cut, or a stab,
Or a thrust cut.
or a thrust cut.
He lays the sword on there and he pushes it forward.
Okay, those are valid, but there's no coming in and actually swinging like you see Errol Flynn do in Robin Hood. We just don't do that.
Now we also have combat archers that use blended weapons, and we also have recently got into siege weapons, ballistas, trebuchets, awningers, these type of things, which are very irritating because you'll be out there wanting to fight heroically.
In fact, there was one time I was on a field battle at our great event we call the Pensic War, and there was quite a few hundred of us storming a castle. Yes, storming the castle. And I was running across the field, and sure enough, I got hit by one arrow in my right shoulder that kind of spun me to the right, and no sooner did I recover, I got hit in the left, and it spun me the other way. So, I was taken out of the battle. So, yeah, those missile weapons.
Right. And one last thing is that we also have a youth combat that starts off at the age of 8 with light armor and padded weapons. You work your way up to about 16.
well, in our kingdom, in our local group, you can authorize to do the heavy fighting at 16. So you can graduate from, which is what I did, you graduate from the youth combat program into the adult fighting before you turn 18 with your parents' permission.
Right.
Okay.
It's basically Boy Scouts on steroids.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you actually look at the Scout Oath, Baden-Powell, who's foreign scouts, lifted the Scout Oath from the French Oath of Chivalry. Translated into English, changed it around a little bit, and brought that into scouting.
Okay. With what you guys were just talking about, with the fighting and things like that, I'm sure we're not going to have like 7,000 over here like going at it and stuff like that.
No.
What could people expect with how many would maybe
Anywhere
here
from
doing
3
the
to 10 heavy fighters.
3 to 10? Okay.
And maybe the same in light fighters as well.
And we might have the ballista fixed by then.
Okay. All right.
I don't know where we'd fire it.
I could show it though.
And then we'll play catch the ballista.
There you go. It's always fun. Do you guys have any other events that are coming up? I know you're going to be here at IconiCon, but do you have something else that you guys have coming up soon?
Well, we do a lot of demos. We just had one this weekend out in the town of Southampton County Fairgrounds. Just had their Ren Fair, so we were supporting that by doing demonstration there. We have one on the 21st for Portsmouth Library. They have their mini-con. So, but we're excited to come out and do the IconiCon, especially since the grounds here really favor the activities that we have in mind, weather permitting. But we actually have some large events coming up. In fact, this coming weekend we have one up in Lenexa, Yorktown area, for our northern barony. That would be the barony of Tiradon that covers the peninsula.
Okay.
Then,
Talk about practice on Sundays.
I'm sorry.
Practice on Sundays.
Oh yes, and we always have practice on Sundays down at Mountain Trashmore. Roughly between 1 and 2 o'clock we start to gather. And then we just lay on. All the heavy fighters and defenders are out there, honing their skills, and the public stops and watch, and we interact with them.
And we don't charge for lessons.
No, not
Okay.
at all.
We
Not at
want
all.
people to come and play with us.
But the big thing we all practice for all year is up in Pennsylvania, the Pennsic War. Some 15,000 of us gather from around the world, and we just lay siege. We become an actual town for for 2 solid weeks, and it's like living on the set of Braveheart the whole time.
Okay.
And the Pennsic War was started between the East and Middle Kingdoms because nobody wanted Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's why they call it the Pennsic War.
All right. There you go. Well, very nice. Thank you guys for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Why don't you come see what these guys are all about and see what IconiCon's all about on April 28th from 10 till 3 at the North Suffolk Library. We'll see you there.